Hello everyone, this is Eugene Finance speaking. When we watch a movie, when we read a book, when we go to a concert, we may enjoy ourselves so much that we don't want the experience to end. But somewhere in our minds, we know that everything that starts has to come to an end eventually. And so, we may ask the question, how is this going to end? Will the ending be what we expect it to be? Can they not screw up the ending? Because considering how the ending is the last thing we will see of something, it would be the part that we remember the most. The same concept can be applied to anime. Too often do I hear people say that the ending of an anime ruined the experience for them. As such, some people may consider these to be bad anime, and I sometimes question the legitimacy of judging an anime solely based on the ending. To answer this, let's take a look at an anime that perfectly fits in this scenario. Soul Eater. This anime made by Bones has often been criticized for its poorly executed ending that led to people referring to the manga instead. And while I admit that the ending felt like a cop-out, it would be so wrong for me to say that this was a bad anime. Soul Eater is one of the reasons Bones is my favorite studio. It has well-established characters, the animation is solid, and it has just the right mix of many genres, which prevents it from being overly serious or lighthearted. To sum it up, the ending may have been a problem for me, but I sure had a fun experience. Of course, I'm not trying to downplay the importance of an ending. Sometimes, how an anime ends is really the main determining factor of an anime's quality, and for that, we look at Chaos Head. The anime reveals the existence of gigalomaniacs who are able to project delusions into reality. The concept of the anime, while explained, is still very confusing in general, and it can easily mess with your mind. And because the anime uses the element of mystery and suspense, there is a build-up that increases the expectations of the audience. As such, there is a higher risk of these types of anime if they end up with a bad ending. And indeed, I did not like the ending of Chaos Head, because it made no sense in relation to the concepts that have been mentioned. Due to my expectations of the series, I ended up hating it a lot, thinking it was average at best. But if we look at another scenario, a good ending can actually be why we end up loving a certain anime. And the best examples that hold true to this are two of my favorite anime, Cardcaptor Sakura and Geass. Both of these, while having very good elements, do have their flaws. Cardcaptor Sakura, with its family-friendly content, may not appeal to viewers looking for something more extreme, and Geass does not fully explore and explain the many forms of Geass that exist. But even so, they both have very satisfying endings. I enjoyed the experience, I loved the characters, and I didn't want them to end. But when I saw the endings, I felt shivers throughout my body, and I said to myself, this was good enough. So what am I trying to say from all this? Maybe it's the fact that the ending may not be the only thing that's important in an anime. Maybe it's the point of how the importance of an ending is determined by the type of anime. Or maybe I'm just rambling on the subject matter that I don't fully understand. But basically, how an ending affects an anime is very subjective among individuals, and it really is up to the viewer to decide whether or not it was satisfactory. But that should not lead to an unfair judgment. Heck, I will admit that I did not like the ending of Neon Genesis Evangelion, but I still think it was a pretty good anime. So the next time before you judge an anime based on the ending, just ask yourself, did I have a good experience? Was the ending really that important? Sometimes it is. And maybe the next time, if you find yourself enjoying an anime so much that you don't want it to end, maybe you might find an ending that really captures your heart. And when that time comes, maybe you might say, you know what, this isn't so bad. In fact, it's good enough.